Welcome to the channel where the British royal family's drama never ends. Royal watchers are speculating and tabloids are trying to find answers. And we're going to get into that subject today. Where will Prince William and Princess Catherine be residing in the future? This mystery has been circulating for weeks, leading some to speculate that the Windsor home has undergone a dramatic transformation. But now we have clarity. And believe me, it shows more than just a simple address change. Straight from the palace itself. It's a clue of where our future king and queen are actually going. In order to ensure that you are always up to date on all the newest developments inside the monarchy, press the subscribe button and like button before we unveil this bombshell. Moving on to the summer of 2022, a move that caught everyone off guard was made by William and Catherine. In the summer of 2022, William and Catherine made a startling choice that raised a few eyebrows. After settling at the grandiose Kensington Palace, they uprooted their family and settled into the quaint little Adelaide cottage nestled in Windsor Great Park. Given their prominent position, many found this to be an inexplicable demotion. But there was more to the story. Insiders stated that this move wasn't about downsizing, it was highly personal. It brought them closer to the late Queen Elizabeth II during her latter years, providing the family the chance to be with the monarch in her dying moments. But there was another motive. Catherine was determined that their three children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and little Prince Louis, would have anything resembled a normal upbringing. Instead of being reared in the blaring limelight of London life, Catherine wanted them to attend Lamrock School and experience a quieter, more private existence, distant from the constant scrutiny of the media. But as any parent knows, kids don't remain tiny forever, and the royal children are no exception. With George just turning 12, the talk concerning the future of the family's living arrangement rapidly started heating up. As Prince George approached his 12th birthday, the suspicions began to fly. The buzz started almost instantly. Could William and Catherine be ready to leave Adelaide Cottage behind? With their children swiftly growing up, many thought that the snug, peaceful cottage would soon feel much too tight for a family of their proportions. For a high-profile family like the Waleses, speculations rapidly began to circulate that a grander, more permanent royal house had to be on the horizon. The supposition took on a life of its own. A moniker immediately gained momentum among royal watchers. Fort Belvedere. This huge house filled with royal history looked like the perfect improvement. It had earlier been home to King Edward VIII, the king who startled the world by abdicating the throne for love. That scandalous link alone gave Fort Belvedere a special fascination, giving it the perfect venue for William and Catherine to delve into a piece of lost royal history. With its stately building and expansive gardens, it appeared like the ideal home for a future king and queen. Royal admirers couldn't help but image William and Catherine traveling through those legendary corridors, regaining a portion of the monarchy's past. But, as we've seen time and time again with this relationship, nothing is ever that simple. Just when everyone believed they had it figured out, the reality came tumbling down. Despite all the hoopla surrounding Fort Belvedere, William and Catherine aren't relocating there after all. Instead, their new house is going to be nestled away in the Windsor estate, in a spot considerably more secluded and far less flashy. Forest Lodge. Yes, you heard that right. Forest Lodge. The palace verified the news straight to the Sun, and it hit like a bombshell across royal circles. Just one statement, yet it put off months of conjecture in an instant. The relocation is occurring, and it's happening soon. This unexpected twist stunned many, as it wasn't simply a change of location, it signaled a difference in the way William and Catherine are choosing to live their lives, one that represents a more modern, grounded approach to monarchy. But this narrative doesn't stop there. The true shock. Their next chapter won't be unfolding in the magnificent halls of Buckingham Palace or the medieval walls of Windsor Castle. Instead, they've taken a choice that's guaranteed to send a message. They're turning away from the great traditions and adopting a far more private future. For generations, Buckingham Palace has stood as the center of the British monarchy, the emblem of authority, history, and regal magnificence. Windsor Castle, on the other hand, provides a peaceful refuge, a treasured getaway from the pace and bustle of London life. So, when the whispers arose, many royal watchers felt that these renowned mansions were the natural next steps for William and Catherine as they prepared to take on the responsibilities of future king and queen. But here's the twist. They're not moving into either of those iconic mansions. Instead, the Wales family is selecting something altogether different. Forest Lodge. A palace spokeswoman announced that the pair will not be taking up residence in either Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle, a move that stunned many who expected them to follow in the footsteps of former royals. This transfer represents significantly more than just a change of address. William and Catherine's choice to skip the grandeur of these two palaces tells much about their approach to monarchy. It's not just about tradition and ritual anymore, it's about establishing a life that feels true, centered on family, and hidden from the public's continuous scrutiny. And that's what makes their move so significant. It's a conscious step away from royal standards, signaling that they're building a new route, one that combines both their royal obligations and their personal lives. So, why the shift? Why chose to leave behind the old royal homes for a quieter, more private existence in Windsor? According to insiders, this decision wasn't just about downsizing. It was part of a wider, long-term goal for their family. The choice to move to Adelaide Cottage in the first place was a trial run. It allowed William and Catherine to test if life outside of London, away from the continuous media attention and scrutiny, could actually work for them. And the verdict? It worked better than everyone imagined. Adelaide Cottage became more than simply a temporary refuge. It became home. Living in Windsor allowed the family to experience a feeling of serenity and seclusion that they simply couldn't achieve amid the turmoil of London. The tranquil pace of life, the room to breathe, and the chance to raise their children with some sort of normality made all the difference. For William and Catherine, this wasn't just about finding a place to live. It was about building a refuge for their children, where they could have the freedom to develop and explore without being constantly under the media's microscope. Windsor provided them something priceless: seclusion. And it was that combination of family life and royal responsibility that made them decide this was the life they wanted to pursue. With George, Charlotte, and Louis attending school in the vicinity, living in Windsor just made sense. It's close enough to London for their official obligations, but far enough away to afford the quiet they needed. This choice but there's more to this change than simply logistics and privacy. The emotional part of it all is just as crucial, and insiders haven't been bashful about disclosing this side of the tale. One source close to the family indicated that the transfer to Forest Lodge allows William and Catherine the opportunity for a fresh start. After the previous several years, marked by terrible losses, including the demise of Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II, grief has weighed hard on the royal family. The emotional toll has been great, not to mention the extra burden of public and media scrutiny. Catherine's personal health issues, which have been carefully covered by the media, have further added to the burden. It's no wonder that after facing so much anguish and public scrutiny, William and Catherine would want to establish a location where they may recover and begin afresh. Forest Lodge isn't simply a new home. It's their retreat. It's a location where people can escape the unrelenting media attention and start making new, brighter memories away from the shadows of their past losses. In this way, Forest Lodge represents a new chapter, one that's about recovering calm, achieving emotional healing, and taking charge of their story. It's an opportunity to put a line under the tough years and focus on the future without the weight of previous pain towering over them. This isn't simply another royal palace. Forest Lodge is being handled as the couple's eternal home. William and Catherine have made it plain that this is where they aim to dig down roots for the long term. Even when William ultimately assumes the king, Forest Lodge will remain their base, an unexpected yet profound move that symbolizes their devotion to stability and independence. In many respects, this signals a change from royal tradition. For centuries, future kings were expected to establish themselves at Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle, iconic emblems of royal authority and tradition. But William and Catherine's decision to walk away from these ancient houses speaks volumes about how they're establishing their own kingdom. This decision is a rejection of the concept that being a royal entails living in the limelight of public life and continual scrutiny. Instead, it's about building a realistic, relatable lifestyle where family comes first and privacy is respected. For the Wales family, Forest Lodge offers the right balance. It's close enough to London to carry out royal obligations, yet far enough away to afford the quiet and normalcy they seek. What's even more surprising is that the pair is paying for all upgrades at Forest Lodge themselves, a dramatic break from traditional royal traditions when government money regularly poured into royal refurbishments. By bearing the expense for these repairs, William and Catherine are making a big statement. They're rejecting the concept of utilizing public monies for their personal lifestyle and displaying a commitment to openness and responsibility, a move that connects well with the British public's need for accountability in the royal family. And it doesn't end there. In yet another break from convention, William and Catherine have decided that Forest Lodge won't be staffed with live-in personnel. For a family of their status, this is nearly unheard of. Historically, senior royals have had a whole crew of butlers, cooks, nannies, and assistants living exactly under the same roof to handle their everyday life. But that's not the road William and Catherine are choosing to take. Instead, the couple has made a very modern and very personal statement by electing to live without the constant presence of domestic workers. This is about more than simply convenience. It's about control and autonomy. By eschewing the old-world customs of live-in servants, William and Catherine are indicating that they want their house to be just that, a home. A home where their family may live as freely and privately as possible, without the constant royal production that has historically surrounded them. This decision also demonstrates their intention to raising their children in an atmosphere where they have as much freedom as possible. It's not only about who prepares supper or who wipes the cutlery, it's about establishing a life that seems more like any other family's, where the royal spotlight is shut off and the focus is on the basic things that matter, like being present parents. Forest Lodge is being constructed to be their refuge, a location where they can escape the pomp and ceremony and simply be a family. In many respects, this decision is revolutionary, rejecting the grandeur of palace, living in favor of a more personal, simplified lifestyle that reflects the present realities of parenting children in the public glare. By picking Forest Lodge and eschewing many of the customary trappings of royal life, William and Catherine are doing more than just selecting a new place to live. They're discreetly changing the monarchy from within. Their selections convey a clear message. While they appreciate the monarchy's heritage, they're determined to make it their own. The move is part of a larger movement in royal lifestyle that places a higher priority on privacy, family life, and independence. This isn't just about avoiding the oppressive brightness of central London or distancing themselves from Buckingham Palace's grandeur. It's about making the monarchy feel more grounded, more relatable, and more in tune with the realities of ordinary life. William and Catherine are illustrating that even as they carry the weight of centuries-old traditions, they're adjusting to the needs of the 21st century. They are taking a very modern approach to monarchy, one that focuses on honesty, balance, and above all, safeguarding their family's well-being. This choice isn't simply a new way of life, it's the basis for a new royal period, where the monarchy develops to reflect the values of the people it serves, values like transparency, independence, and a devotion to family. William and Catherine are building the framework for a future where duty and family may cohabit under one roof, making the monarchy more accessible and more in touch with the people. And with this daring decision, they're proving that being a royal doesn't have to mean living in the past. It can also be about crafting a future that seems new, relevant, and above all, authentic. So, what do you think about William and Catherine's decision to make Forest Lodge their everlasting home? Is this a strong step toward a more modern and relevant monarchy, or do you believe it risks straying too far from royal traditions? We'd love to hear your comments on this daring move. Do you see it as a good step for the future of the monarchy, or is it too much of a break from what royal life has traditionally been about? Drop your views in the comments below, and we'll make sure to read every single one. If you loved this deep dive into the royal family's new twist, don't forget to like the video, share it with fellow royal lovers, and of course, click that subscribe button so you never miss our next royal update. Thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next one.